Hey everyone! Today I want to talk about the recent Alpha Test of Vindictus, Defying Fate, which took place during Steam's Next Fest. The game is a reimagining of the original 2010 MMORPG Vindictus, now redesigned as more of an action RPG with Souls-like elements. It's being developed by the Korean studio Nexon, the same team behind last year's The First Descendant. And just like before, they're clearly focusing on characters and customization, as you might have already seen from the preview. But is there more to this game than just flashy characters? Based on their previous titles, what can we expect at launch? Let's take a look. Once you jump into the game, you can choose from 4 characters, each basically a separate class with their own weapons and fighting styles. Lan wields dual swords, relying on dodging and fast, aggressive attacks. Fiona uses a one-handed sword and shield, great for blocking incoming damage. Karok is a massive half-giant who fights with a giant pillar and uses raw power. Delia carries a huge two-handed sword, delivering sweeping blows and parries. It doesn't really matter who you start with since you can switch between characters later. But in my opinion, Fiona is the best pick for beginners, great for learning the combat mechanics. In the original Vindictus, each character eventually got access to alternate weapons as you progressed, so I expect we'll see something similar here at launch. As for progression, it's pretty limited in this alpha, and will most likely change before the release. For now, each character has its own set of active combat abilities that you can upgrade. There is also a shared skill tree for passive characteristics such as recovery, defense, and combat, which means you won't need to start from scratch when you switch characters. Each character also has 5 weapon options that can be crafted and upgraded by the blacksmith, but they don't differ in performance. They just increase the overall weapon level for the character, so you can choose the one you like better visually. Customization deserves a special mention. There are a variety of outfit options, some immersive, some just for fun, and you can mix and match outfit pieces to create your own unique style. In some outfits, you can even turn accessories or sleeves on and off. There is also a wide palette of dyes to color your outfits the way you want. Although you play as pre-made characters and cannot create your own, you are given the opportunity to change hairstyle, makeup, skin color, or even the volume of certain body parts. It is not surprising that the developers have worked so hard on their physics. Even at the alpha stage, you can spend hours in the editor and create your ideal character, and enjoy how he or she looks during the game. The presence of mature content does not make the game better or worse. It just adds variety. And let's be honest, if that's the only reason someone tries a game but doesn't find a fulfilling gameplay experience underneath, they're likely to walk away. Developers should know this from their own experience. Let's talk gameplay. It's clear took inspiration from Software titles. Combat is timing-based. You'll need to study enemy movesets, learn when to dodge, block, or strike back. There are visual cues for enemy attacks. Normal attacks can be blocked, parried, or dodged. Yellow attacks should be dodged. They deal chip damage even when blocked. Blue attacks can be parried, but the window is tight and requires precise timing. Red attacks can't be blocked or parried at all. Each character has different options in combat. Lan only dodges, Delia can dodge and parry, and Fiona can full-on tank enemy combos with her shield. There are 3 main areas in the alpha, 1 hub and 2 linear zones filled with boss arenas. You fight your way through each zone and can replay boss fights in any order afterwards, mainly to farm materials for upgrades. You can go in solo or pick an AI companion to help out, which makes things a bit easier. There are also tougher co-op boss fights for up to 4 players. Even though this was just an alpha test and the game could change a lot before release, we can already get a sense of the direction the developers are taking. To sum it up, the combat system, which follows a Souls-like style, does offer a challenge and avoids the usual mindless button mashing. But right now, it feels like it's missing that sense of fluidity and momentum. In Souls games, the combat is deeply tied to RPG elements, letting you build your character in all kinds of creative ways. To really pull that off, the devs will either need to create large, explorable zones full of resources, which demands tight level design, or, as we're seeing now, have players repeat boss fights over and over. That repetition could easily become monotonous grind. Personally, I think that such a routine may not work in the game's favor. If the game is meant to be primarily single-player with optional co-op for certain missions, then I believe the best approach would be to spice up combat, make it more dynamic and cinematic, like in God of War. Smaller, more focused areas packed with meaningful activities could keep things engaging, and the monotony of grinding and backtracking could be offset by a variety of game modes and a strong, well-integrated story. Having cooperative missions as a separate mode would let each player fully enjoy the story, the characters, and the world without other people breaking the immersion. The devs really have a chance to create something unique here. The game has incredible potential, but if it turns into an always online grind fest with endless power creep, poor monetization, and random players ruining the story experience, then it risks repeating the mistakes of the studio's last release, which ended up in survival mode and still hasn't fully recovered since launch. I really hope the devs learn from past mistakes and give us something truly great. What do you think about Vindictus Defying Fate? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.